They are gonna catch them, I think, Peter. It was 6, near enough the back row of the grid. What a ride this is from Beñat.
Absolutely superb.
On the exit of that, which is the rescue run, as they come now down towards 2A and 2B, very tenths of a second as they come across the first intermediate split there. So I think that's it.
And a great run from Hakim Danish as well. You know, Hakim, you know, he started the...
Wants to go up the inside there again, but Christian Danish just so late on the brakes, isn't he? Goodness me. And that was the leading pack have been caught officially. Fastest rider on track is that rider there.
Year with 5 second places and then a win. He can do it. It's just a mental thing. That
a bit of an example there. He slightly rushed the corner, but I don't think he sacrificed his drive too much there. Number 7 of Beñat Fernandez.
And of course, that group of 5 punches a big hole in the air. Messed up the recent races for the Malaysian. He's obviously expanded
this big hill climb up towards turn 3,
and I think he dragged Veda Pratama onto the green with, and that drags the other guys into the slipstream very effectively. So it's Brian Iriarte who takes up the lead. It's that from his brain now, and he is battling for the lead.
It's such a different dynamic, Peter, from being the predator.
Him there at turn 1, but there's the chasing pack, including Beñat Fernandez, and they are closing from Veda Pratama.
So heavy on the brakes, and it's really steep downhill into turn. In the Prey, you know, they were chasing him all the time throughout the season. But
again, they're visibly closer now. You don't need to see the too much about the timing screens, because you can see they are close.
Before there, you can see the rear wheel of Uriarte is just popping off the ground momentarily. Now he's on the back foot again. Uriarte's the one with more things to lose, per se, with a 4 points gap.
Losing in.
And this is the danger. You know, Uriarte, Pratama, they do not want as they now come into the fastest sweeping section as Guillaume Plonk, first rider to have out the lead. And it's amazing how that could just change a rider's mentality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big pack, because all that means is, come the end of the race, they could be leading over the line on the towards the final lap. A long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. He's at 20th spot at the moment. That'll move him down.
You know, Uriarte is very strong mentally, and you see he actually had the better.
And then finish up maybe 8th or 9th or something. They need every point that they can get. The person who is likely to last.
Right, and as you were talking about, you know, using up your tyres too much, line and Veda through there, he got the drive out of it. Veda caught him going into the corner, but
it's in his best interest to bring the group all together. Hakim Danish.
Yeah, and he at the moment is back in 8th. These Pirellis are really superb tyres. They do drop off. The performance does fade away. Brian Iriarte flicked it right and then left better to get the drive out. Place, but closing in. And that group runs all the way down to slightly, but it's very, very predictable. So the guys can feel what's happening, and
on that penalty as well for Monan Yane due to exceeding track limits. He's down in 20th.
What, sort of 16th? Oh no, down to 20th position.
Goodness me, absolutely.
Usually doesn't give them any nasty surprises. It's Brian Iriarte that leads, but up the inside now.
At the moment, fighting with Plonk, who also had a long lap penalty. Agostinelli is just ahead of them. He's brilliant. And there we go, the first of the track limits warnings coming in for Guillaume Plonk already. You don't want...
It's David Gonzalez there on the number 11 into second place.
I think I saw done his long lap penalty as well.
Oh, and Brian getting it a bit sideways on the brake.
Track limits warning already at this stage in the game, do you? Because one more time and you find Christian Daniel pushing Marco Morelli rather wide there in towards the penultimate turn. And there we have...
It's going in there, but he managed to hang on to it.
Who's that? That's Agostinelli, just gone down, having just completed himself going through the long lap penalty.
Yeah, and there's Beñat Fernandez on the number 7. He certainly has...
Have the weave-in riders trying to avoid the other riders catching too much of a slipstream. Morelli up the inside, completed his long lap penalty. That's a big shame for the Vietnamese rider.
Yeah. The pace to drag this group, and there's who is that in the background, way off on the green that time.
Side of Daniel again, just slots it there, goes a little bit wide onto the green then, so he might himself have
presumably ruined his concentration having to do the long lap penalty. And right, so start and finish then. And there's somebody pulling off
a track limits warning, but they have officially been caught by the others. They've now got Carl pushing on their tail. Carl pushing moving up the inside.
Caught himself out. Anyway, back with the leaders then. Brian Uriarte still with the advantage over Pratama and Hakim. That was Christian Daniel pulling his tape off the radiator as Brian Uriarte leads over Veda Pratama.
Potentially, certainly of Morelli, but also potentially Daniel as well. Not quite, as we see.
Anish, they got a very, very slight advantage over the 17 of Yaroslav Kaput. Up the inside is Morelli on Christian Daniel. He does it. Morelli takes third place.
Morelli get pushed wide now by Benyat Fernandez moving up the inside. Danish side by Kurdistani rider. Just what a tick up in form he's had since that
race.
It was 9/10 of a second with the chasing group across the side with Morelli in the background too.
So Uriarte leads from
pole in that front row start and podium back in Germany. The finish line that time around, Peter. They closed in by a 10th, but look at Brian out front. He's just thinking
Gonzalez. I wonder now if Gonzalez has got with the fellow Spanish one, if the two.
Really impressive. One of the youngest riders on the Rookies Cup grid, isn't he? Is Hack? No way. I'm absolutely going for it. Last time around, he set a 146.8, but actually the
Spanish can make a break for it. They've got the slightest advantage over Veda Pratama in foot third.
Danish went very wide there. That could have been a long lap penalty for Danish. Fastest rider on track, Peter, was Joel Pons, back in 19th place at 145.9. But they were half a second slower last time around than Carl Pushin, Peter. He was certainly right on the edge of the white. Did he actually go onto the green? That is the question. So actually, there's a lot of pace in hand here for the riders, but do they want to burn up their tyres too quickly or not? Yugoslavian rider, Kurdistani rider, sorry.
Yeah, look at the and he's still in third place, and Christian Daniel Jr. up into well, Joel Pons, you know, he's had a lousy season and a half in Rookies Cup so far, but he was sixth in this stuff side by side and hard on the brakes. The back end of the KTM hopping fifth again. I think somebody way off in the green there. Christian Daniel Jr. He lost a few places for FP2, made a complete mess of qualifying, didn't get a toe, but certainly he has pace round here if he's around there as Brian turns it into the first right-hander when that messy lap a couple of turns ago, if his FP pace is anything to go by. So it would be great to see Pons, and Agostinelli has got a long lap penalty.
Yeah, that'll be a trap.
But he's back in the hunt now, up into 6th place ahead of Morelli and Gonzalez, way up in this group.
Uriarte and Pratama, a bit like yesterday, just swap at limits thing as well. And it'll probably be, Pete, surely that it'll be the final corner where there isn't really a lip. Really impressive all this. I mean, what a change we've had in